So in just a few moments, a Senate confirmation hearing for President Biden's Transportation Secretary nominee, Pete Buttigieg, will get underway. If confirmed, the former South Bend, Indiana mayor and presidential candidate is expected to play a crucial role in helping shape the president's climate agenda by working to reduce emissions from the transportation sector. So far, just one member of the president's cabinet has been confirmed by the Senate, National Intelligence Director Avril Haines. For more insight now on this, let us bring in CBSN political contributor Molly Hooper. So Molly, what are you going to be keeping an eye on today with the confirmation hearing? You know, transportation doesn't always seem all that interesting, but when you hear about the impact on climate change, I think it kind of ups the ante a bit.
Well, it's climate change, and it's also infrastructure, a major initiative that President Biden wants to move forward in the beginning of his administration because infrastructure projects create a lot of jobs. But as you said, climate change is a major point as well. It's one of those 4 crises that President Biden says he wants to work on immediately. And one of the aspects of that is increasing the number of electric charging units across the country by something like 500,000. So expect a lot of questions on climate change, but also on the infrastructure projects, because if you remember 4 years ago, going into the Trump administration, one thing that everybody was looking at was infrastructure, right? Then President Trump had just come from the real estate business, and he was so gung-ho on moving forward with infrastructure projects, but it didn't happen because infrastructure is very difficult to move in the House and the Senate, given that it's not necessarily the fact that there's more projects they want to do, it's a matter of how you pay for it. So expect questions from members of the Commerce Committee to ask about that as well.
So, Molly, confirmations for President Biden's other cabinet members are facing some delays. Senator Josh Hawley blocked the swift consideration of the Department of Homeland Security nominee Alejandro Mayorkas on Tuesday. Let's just remember the Department of Homeland Security, given what we witnessed on January 6th, given Senator Hawley's role in what we witnessed on January 6th, what does delaying this nomination mean for President Biden and for the safety of Americans?
Well, you know, it's really tough right now because when we don't have cabinet secretaries in place, full-blown Senate-confirmed cabinet secretaries in place, it's difficult for agencies to move forward on initiatives that they plan to enact in order to tackle issues like you mentioned, Vlad. But again, immigration is the reason why Josh Hawley is holding up and delaying this nomination. Again, one of the 4 crises that President Biden says he wants to tackle immediately is immigration. It's still a lightning rod issue, even though President Trump isn't in the Oval Office pounding on the desks to increase the building of a border wall. Immigration is going to remain a lightning rod topic in Congress. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Both sides are equally charged. And therefore, that's why Senator Hawley is saying he doesn't want to move forward with Mayorkas right now. But that doesn't mean that Mayorkas won't get confirmed. It just means he will be delayed a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how often the Senate Republicans choose to employ this delaying tactic in the next coming weeks. Because remember, the Senate is split 50-50. And when it's split 50-50, it makes it very difficult for things to move out of committees because depending on whatever organizing resolution the Senate decides, which essentially means how many members of each party will be on the committees and who will be in charge of those committees, it has a great impact on how items, bills, confirmations move through to the Senate floor.
So we keep pointing out that only one of the president's cabinet member picks has actually been confirmed. But what does that kind of mean in real life in terms of the running of government agencies? I mean, obviously the wheels don't fall off because there's many people that help to run these agencies. But you know, what's kind of going on behind the scenes? How does this stymie things up a little?
Well, gosh, it does seem like it stymies things up a little. When I say you have an acting agency head, it's not ideal because it doesn't carry the full weight of a Senate-confirmed cabinet secretary. And so while operations will continue to run as status quo, it means that it's more difficult to move forward with Senator President Joe Biden. He's worn so many hats in Washington, D.C. for so long. President Joe Biden's major initiatives like immigration reform. That's something that the House and the Senate are getting to work on immediately. But again, in terms of the executive actions that President Biden is taking, it makes it more difficult for the agencies underneath the overall department to move forward, because you really want something with the full weight of a a Senate confirmed cabinet secretary. And so it just makes it a little bit more difficult to move things forward once you get that person in place and that individual is truly enacting and carrying out and enforcing what the president is directing. It's a little bit of a different story. So, it'll take a few weeks to get up and running to full force. As you said, Anne Marie, the wheels have not completely come off. The agencies do continue to operate, but it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation.
All right, Molly, always great to have you. Thank you very much. We'll be checking in with you a little bit later, but now let us take our viewers to Capitol Hill, where Transportation Secretary nominee Pete Buttigieg's confirmation hearing is just getting underway.
A member